Hi, y'all. Welcome to the live stream. Let's see, I'm going to sit on my pillows, get up a little higher. Welcome. If it's your first time, I'm so glad that you're here. And we have a lot of great questions. Thank you all so much for submitting. I like to start each live stream, maybe each everything that I do, with a little bit of centering, little meditative moment. So I pulled from Deja Osborne's Personal Power deck. It's one of my favorites. And I pulled the I Am Good Enough card. Okay, so I just want you to close your eyes. Maybe it's been a busy day. And just be right where you are. Taking a deep breath. I have a hand on the heart and a hand on my belly. Just breathing in the notion, I am good enough. And there's a way that we can say those words in our heads, and that's useful. And there's a way that we can help our bodies feel that message. Feel what it feels like to feel good enough. Does it feel calming in your heart space? Does it feel warm? Does the feeling of good enough make neck muscles relax? Eyes soften, jaw muscles let go? 2 more breaths into feeling good enough. Okay, I'm going to jump in. Jackie and then Michelle jumped on with an affirmative yes, this question too. Jackie just simply says, I'd like to hear more on forging a new trail in the gray, as opposed to always feeding the need for black and white. Yes. So you hear me mention this a lot on the show. What happens to human psychology is that we really want black or white, all or nothing thinking because it's simple. And that really is how we first start learning the world as children. So when we're little, because we're not able to hold too much complexity yet up here, we start learning things as good and bad, right or wrong, yes or no. That's why humans' first word, or the word that they really love and get into, maybe not their very first, is no. No. It's a power. So there's a power in no, there's a power in yes, there's a simplicity in yes and no. So all throughout our lives, we look for that simplicity. Okay? If I'm going to do work in a prison, we like the idea, as much as it's funky, to think of a serial killer as all bad, right? An abusive person, all bad. There's a simplicity to that. If I can stick somebody in the all bad category, it's simple, okay? It's more complex to work within the gray. So I hope that simple explanation helps explain and show why throughout the whole rest of our lives, we want that. And it's not a conscious, I need things to be all or nothing, black or white. But there is this deep, simple comfort from just throwing things in the simple, it's good or it's bad category. Now, if you're in here, so you listen to me, my show is for people who have high insight and high empathy. If you don't have high insight and you don't have high empathy, you're not going to like me, my show, this kind of work. Okay? There's this thing in dysfunctional families where there tends to be not just one, there tends to be more players that have low empathy. Well, what goes hand in hand with low empathy and low insight? Low maturity. So if we have low maturity, we also struggle to get out of the trap of this desire to want things to be simple and black and white. So the kicker there is that a lot of us that are highly sensitive empaths, or just highly sensitive, or survivors, which makes us more sensitive, is that a lot of us were raised by people with very low maturity, who also continued to process and parent in this all or nothing, black or white. Oh, you got all A's on your report card and one B? What happened there? All or nothing. To be good, you have to get all A's. I'm not going to give you a wow, this is amazing unless it's perfect. So this also plays into the roots of our perfectionism. So understanding that, okay, how does that show up? Well, the smarter that we are, the more sneakily it shows up because we're so smart. And that'll show up in ways that say things in absolutes. Like, I've had 2 divorces. Very easy for part of my psychology that wants comfort to slide into marriage, bad, don't do that. Simple, cut and dry. I don't have to risk anything. Nope, not letting that in. You've heard me mention on the show, if you're caught up with episodes, I'm going to marry Chris. That's a 3rd time. So to be able to open up to that, I have to know that there's a part of my psychology, maybe a younger part, that just wants to jump into, no, nope, bad. And I have to be aware and help that part if it gets kicked up. And I have to talk it through. I have to be the good enough mother for that part. I have to be my wise woman self, the adult me, maturity, insight, awareness, emotional intelligence. And it doesn't mean we have to be emotionally perfect. We will never be. I am certainly not. But it's the understanding that, okay, I have been sort of trained by society, by my family, even by myself when I didn't know what I was doing, to go into this black or white, all or nothing thinking. So that shows up for sensitives in, oh my God, it's always going to feel this way. Whatever we're feeling, we feel it as this absolute. Okay. That happens with risking again. Nope. I'm just going to swear off men till the end of time. Nope, been burned. Nope, learn that lesson. Seal it up. Put the lid on it. So we want to just bring awareness to it, just like everything else, mindfulness, of being able to notice when we're in the gray. It's also the benefit of working with someone, because the smarter that we are, you would think the easier it would be to catch it. Nope. The smarter we are, the easier it is to construct a sentence that doesn't really sound like it's all or nothing, black or white. So it takes, often, it took it in my work. I wouldn't have been able to notice it myself. In working with a healer I trusted, to be able to point that out, to be able to say, hey, you just said like you can't make any relationship work. You've been married twice. That's 2 men. How many men are on the planet, Nikki? Don't judge your whole existence based on the interaction of 2 men that you chose when there was still a bulk of work to do to really get to know yourself, to be able to heal your people picker. And having to pull back into that gray. And just because we hear that once doesn't mean, I don't have to do that work. Because we've heard those black and white, all or nothing messages countless times, billions of times. And so we're leaning into the awareness and learning to catch it, and inviting our healers or our very close first row people, maybe our spouses, our partners, our very good, safe friends that really get us and can really see us, not people who don't, into calling us out that way. I have a friend trying to build a business. It's hard. There's a lot of discouragement to push through, a lot of trying to pivot in this COVID year. I can hear it in her, and I point it out because we have that kind of relationship. Am I ever going to make enough money to survive? There's a desperation. And so we're learning to feel when we're in the black and whiteness of that desperation, because nothing's all desperate. There's silver linings, even in this crazy kooky year. So what do we do with that? We want to lean into it, pay attention to it, and we want to help ourselves find a middle ground. If this is black, this is white. If this is all, if this is nothing, then we're working within that to go, okay, well, what's between those two? And it's not that I have to do a thing or choose something that's directly center of those two things, but it's starting to forge this path in our consciousness and in the way that we process, in our critical thinking, that it forges a new road that drives through the gray. So to grow that road in my thinking, to forge that road, I have to look at, this is the all, this is the nothing, what's in between. So embrace it more and lean into the, oh, is that all or nothing? Oh, I got a bag of Oreos. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. Even the little insignificant ways that shows up. No, no, I'm really not gonna eat all the Oreos. I might eat too many. Should have 5. Might eat 12. That's the middle. Likely, I might eat 12 Oreos. Even that is forging the path of this consciousness of middle ground. And it just takes practice and it just takes time. Now in my life, because I've practiced this so much, if that pop, first of all, it's easier for me to naturally forge into like, oh, well, this is a middle ground, and kind of find that balance. But if I feel something black and white come up, it's a quicker, natural flow of, oh, wait, that's too extreme. What's in between? What's in the middle? And just the question means that we're not in the black and white. And sometimes the answer is black and white. We should not drink gasoline. Like, there are things that are very black and white, and that's okay. But it's learning how to forge this in between, in the gray sort of path. Okay. It helps us be more centered because it is a more central way of thinking with more balance. Great question. Okay. All right. Paige.